The story kicked off with our main character, Ganta, running into his friend, Mimi. He excitedly shared details about his investigation into a prison tour field trip, rumored to be an amusement park-like experience. Their mutual friend, Yamakatsu, joined the conversation, expressing disappointment that the prison was in Tokyo, a place they hadn't visited in a while. Yamakatsu grumbled about how people associated Tokyo with something called the Hole. Mimi reminded them that their entrance exams were just 2 weeks away, encouraging them to make the best of the situation. As their class began, Ganta heard a song and looked out the window to witness someone floating in the sky. Suddenly, this mysterious person launched an attack, causing widespread destruction. Ganta later woke up in a hospital only to discover that all his classmates, including Mimi, had been brutally harmed. Shockingly, Ganta found himself accused of these murders. Mr. Tamaki, a court-appointed attorney, arrived to offer assistance. Despite Ganta's pleas of innocence, the judge declared him guilty, leaving Ganta in disbelief. Unable to accept this verdict, Ganta managed to break free but was then confronted and assaulted by vengeful fathers seeking retribution for their murdered children. News reports circulated with camera footage showing Ganta confessing to these crimes, a revelation that filled Mimi's father with fury. Mr. Tamaki expressed his apologies for not being aware that they were being recorded. Ganta was transported to the privately owned corrections facility, Deadman's Wonderland prison, located in Tokyo. On the roof, a white-haired girl awaited his arrival. Captain Makina, the ruthless custodian of Deadman's Wonderland, oversaw death row prisoners who had to participate in deadly attractions to earn blue candy for survival. Any disobedience to Makina could result in severe consequences for the prisoners. Shockingly, it was revealed that Tamaki, who had posed as Ganta's lawyer, was the owner of the prison. He tasked Makina with assassinating prisoner Igarashi Ganta, making it look like an accident. In this grim environment, Ganta befriended Shiro, an oddly appearing girl. As the criminals brutally abused Ganta and Shiro, they suddenly heard a blast, with a huge metal ball heading toward them. However, Ganta used the red blood channeled through his hand to smash the ball into pieces. Intrigued, Makina reviewed the incident footage to uncover the mystery behind Igarashi Ganta and Tamaki's concealed plans. Subsequently, Ganta awakened in the hospital, injured from the accident. The doctor questioned him about a lost blue candy, crucial for death row prisoners to counter a poison stream. Yokun explained its importance and advised Ganta to read the rule book for survival. In this prison, transactions were in caste points or cards, affecting buying capacity. Intriguingly, Ganta, aiming for a blue candy, opted to participate in the upcoming dog race.
What?
Meanwhile, Yokun covertly updated Tamaki on Ganta's actions. In the dressing room, fear struck as formidable fighter Kazuji Kazumasa announced his participation, delivering a brutal blow to Ganta. Despite Yokun facing punches for intervening, Ganta was left despondent before the race. As the first round of the race unfolded, participants navigated sharp blades, and some were sliced in half, delighting the crowd. Ganta, with Shiro's help, survived jumps and valleys, reaching the final level against Kazumasaki. It became clear that the last survivor with a Deadman's ball would emerge as the winner. Despite Kazumasaki's relentless attempts, Ganta secured the ball, sacrificing victory to save Shiro and forego a chance at earning caste points for a crucial blue candy. Ultimately, the race concluded without a winner. Government officials expressed concerns to Tamaki about the race resembling a public execution, as criminals beyond death row were also killed. Tamaki remained unfazed. Shiro happily shared a post-race snack with Ganta, though he seemed preoccupied with thoughts of the candy. Yokun unexpectedly brought Ganta the candy, overwhelming him with gratitude. The administration notified Tamaki of malfunctions in his secret basement facility. Furious, Tamaki demanded immediate repairs and insisted on continuing the experiments. Ganta and Yokun savored ice cream until the clock struck 3. Ganta was gripped by chest pain as the Red Man announced his arrival with a destructive hurricane. Determined not to relive a past incident, Ganta retaliated, landing a precise blow with his blood. The Red Man retreated, and Ganta fainted. Tamaki was thrilled by CCTV footage of Ganta's power, seeing his plan unfold. In the hospital, Ganta struggled with chest pain and blood from his hand. Prisoners gossiped about Red Man-like forces in G Block. After an inquiry, Makina issued a red alert, locking cells and chaining Ganta. Eager for revenge, Ganta asked Yokun to join him in finding G Block, using someone bribed to spy. Shiro led them, escaping an assassin robot. Following events, they reached G Block's entrance, pursued by the robot. Stranded, they heard a blast as a human-like figure emerged from the dark, attacking the robot. The basement shook, and a figure emerged from the darkness. Ganta identified him as the Red Man and attacked in vengeance, but his opponent, Senji Kiyomasa, proved immune. Despite channeling all his energy, Ganta was outmatched, and Crow's blood attack forced Ganta into a desperate retreat. Exhausted, Ganta tapped into his emotions, delivering a powerful counter blow that broke Crow's ribs. However, Crow revealed he was not the Red Man and had no ties to the school massacre. G-Block, Wonderland's heart, harbored many Deadmen like them. As Senji attempted to attack Ganta, Shiro intervened, nullifying the assault with a solid blow to Senji's face. Senji, caught off guard, found himself on the floor, and Shiro's presence startled him.
Yeah, boy.
Before they could resume their fight, security shot them with sleeping darts. Makina's investigation yielded nothing as Tamaki double-crossed her, erasing evidence. Determined, she attempted to bring the matter to the director, but security thwarted her. Shiro and Yokon were confined, while Ganta woke in a medical testing facility. Tamaki revealed his role in the school massacre, impersonating and manipulating Ganta. Enraged, Ganta lashed out, but Tamaki subjected him to a severe electric shock. Tamaki declared Ganta would face Senji in the Carnival corpse, terrifying him. Tamaki disclosed the Wretched Egg's role in the Nagano Middle School massacre. Senji, fueled by vengeance, prepared intensely for the upcoming fight. Tamaki ended the broadcast, reassuring Ganta not to be concerned about Senji's size and Deadman's combat. He stressed strategy over brute strength, suggesting the use of Senji's body parts if defeated. Makina declined a meeting with the director, revealing his suboptimal state. Yo, disappointed with lost cast points, pondered his situation. Shiro was determined to save Ganta, who Yo believed in after witnessing his abilities. Shiro insisted Ganta needed her as he struggled to defend himself. In the arena, Ganta and Senji were introduced for a seemingly mismatched fight. The fighters trained, cutting themselves, with Senji taunting Ganta. Ganta struggled to control his blood, releasing projectiles. Senji, unimpressed, highlighted the experience gap. In Tamaki's office, lab results confirmed the object in Ganta's chest matched the epicenter crystals. Displeased, Tamaki ordered to burn the corpse after the anticipated loss. During the fight, Senji urged Ganta to overcome fear, stating he wouldn't win if scared. Ganta reflected on his life, recalling a childhood memory of his sister complaining about his weakness. Shiro revealed to Yo that Ganta tended to run away when faced with adversity. Attendees expressed disappointment in the fight's lack of competitiveness. Shiro, recalling Ganta's past resilience, believed his strength lay in overcoming flaws. Refusing defeat, Ganta rose, displaying pain and fear, landing a powerful hit on Senji, earning respect. Meanwhile, Yo met an informant who found the girl in G-Block. As Shiro sang loudly, Yo requested ninja-like silence. In the hospital, Ganta reflected on the aftermath. Senji recognized him as champ, hinting at friendship. On TV, the post-Carnival show aired, determining Senji's fate. Shiro attacked the control room. Yo, impersonating a guard, shut off power. Guards surrounded Shiro. Outside, Yo admired the control tower's destruction. Ganta reflected on the Wonderland's hellish reality that it's rather a hell than a Wonderland. Shiro collapsed, feeling dizzy, and two pale figures took her away. Yo decided to move on alone, wanting to overlook what just happened and focus. Ganta, now in Black G, hoped his friends were okay. Hearing screams outside his room, he rushed to help a distressed girl, and they ended up in her room.
Yeah, baby! Yeah.
She introduced herself as Minatsuki, and they discussed the prison's cruelty in harming strangers to display power. Ganta agreed, complimenting her primrose plant, which responded well to delicate care. Minatsuki revealed her troubled past after her mother's death, detailing mistreatment from her father. Enduring abuse, she eventually snapped. She explained that her brother blamed the system for her imprisonment, and she despised being a monster in the carnival. Ganta suggested they run away together, assuring her of his protection. Their escape plan was cut short as guards discovered them, revealing they were the next day's Carnival Corps participant. Meanwhile, Tamaki informed the disinterested director about the fight lineup. Ganta and Minatsuki's battle began, with Ganta promising not to harm her. However, Minatsuki revealed her true self, disappointing Ganta. Yo arrived, yelling at Ganta not to harm his sister, shocking Ganta as he was unaware of their relationship. Yo revealed that he got himself incarcerated to work towards buying off his sister's sentence. As guards attempted to take Yo away, Tamaki allowed him to stay, finding amusement in the situation. Minatsuki secretly mocked her brother and manipulated him to come to her defense. However, Yo revealed he knew everything and cared about her, even after learning the truth about their father's death.
Perfect.
Minatsuki lost control, attacking Yo and revealing her true nature to Ganta. Ganta defended Yo, understanding his intentions. Despite Ganta's attempts to attack, Minatsuki used Yo as a shield. She spoke ill of her mother, and Ganta protested. Minatsuki disclosed that her mother chose to save primroses over her the day Tokyo was engulfed. Ganta eventually freed Yo with a successful attack, provoking Minatsuki. She tied up Ganta, claiming his strength was wasted on someone like him. Ganta retorted that she spent too much time dwelling on her past without taking action. Distracted by their conversation, Ganta headbutted Minatsuki, ending the fight. Standing before everyone, he directed strong language at Tamaki. In another room, the curious director observed Ganta. He then approached Shiro, asking her if she was asleep, wondering if she would grant him hope soon. Injured Shiro, cared for by the director, engaged in a fierce clash. Their battle caused a prison-wide earthquake. Meanwhile, Minatsuki lay in the hospital, and Ganta apologized to Yokun for hurting his sister. In a shocking turn, Yokun risked his life to save Minatsuki, but she remained displeased. Their unique bond triggered Ganta's childhood memories, and he recognized Shiro. Shiro questioned the director about the active Mother Goose, citing the recurring lullaby music. In this intense battle, Shiro conquered the director, revealing herself as the wretched egg.
No! God, please, no!
In the gallery, Minatsuki's wild planter throw accidentally hit Senji. Flashbacks of Shiro and Ganta's past flooded Ganta's mind. He realized they shared childhood memories with his mother. Shiro's wretched egg costume oddly resembled Ace Man, Ganta's childhood hero. Tormented by Necromacro's mysterious disappearance, Makina vowed to investigate anomalies in the Deadman's Wonderland support areas of northeast Tokyo, where the death hole existed a decade ago. She suspected unnatural localized damage. The doctor discovered a crystal inside Ganta's body through the Femtomachine, resembling the nameless worm found in the death hole. Caught stealing cast point cards, Yo, driven by his sister's cruel death punishment, faced Tamaki's intervention as Jinkaku overpowered him. Nagi and Kashio Karako invited Ganta to join Scar Chain, a rebel group fighting for freedom against oppression. Together, they helped neutralize Minatsuki's imposed penalty. Jinkaku's fiery guitar weapon disrupted the room's tranquility, causing chaos as walls crumbled and debris filled the air like a collapsing deck of cards. Yokun's weakened state fueled Ganta's fury, leading to a desperate assault. Despite Ganta's determined strikes, Jinkaku proved resilient and unaffected. Scar Chain Club was impressed by Shiro's courageous fight against Undertaker Jinkaku, but eyebrows were raised at the presence of non-deadmen like Shiro and Yokun in G Block. Commander Nagi intervened, deflecting questions. Rokuro, pivotal to the plan, managed club data and saved Hummingbird during a penalty game. Makina, shedding her uniform for an unorthodox suit, investigated suspicious events during Tamaki's engagement with bureaucrats. Scar Chain planned an all-out attack for freedom during safety inspections, but the primary concern was the Undertakers, Tamaki's elite Gestapo. Ganta claimed the branch of Sin didn't work against them, but Rokuro's video evidence proved him wrong, causing Ganta's humiliation and immediate departure from the club. Tamaki reveled in his father's demise, feeling everything was working in his favor. He now owned Deadman's Wonderland. Senji revealed to Ganta the tragic event where Nagi was forced to fight his wife, lost deliberately, and was later charged for it. His wife was subsequently murdered. Secretly working for Jinkaku, Rokuro provided information to thwart the plan. The inspection team arrived to assess safety standards at Deadman's Wonderland. Ganta rejoined the club, and Karako initiated the final briefing aimed at exposing the prison with evidence on a data chip. The revolt began with neutralizing G Block, opening the lift, and triggering emergency alarms. As guards deployed the Necromacro robot to hunt rebels, Karako decided to sacrifice herself for the plan's success, handing the chip to Ganta. Karako commanded everyone to run, securing their passage by holding the bridge. Despite the initial surprise at her appointment as Scar Chain's vice commander, Karako proved Naga's choice right. She rang her necklace, a symbol of their friendship, for the final time and confronted Necromacro. Using her branch of Sin for defense, she fought Necromacro, buying time for her friends to reach safety. As they waited for Nagi and Rokuro to operate the lift, Rokuro deceived Nagi and aligned with Data Habana, leader of the 3rd Undertaker platoon. Naga's branch of Sin proved ineffective against her worm-eater weapon, dissipating his power. She smashed him into a wall, and despite his attempts to counter, it proved futile. Habana inflicted Lingshai punishment on Nagi, slowly slicing him into pieces. Despite the excruciating pain, Nagi, identifying her as the infamous kindergarten dismembering killer, was determined to help his friends escape. He anguished Habana with details of her oppressive childhood, diverting her attention with his sliced arm to trap her. Nagi managed to operate the lift, allowing his friends to escape. Believing they had escaped, Ganta and his friends encountered Jinkaku outside the lift, who instantly began killing them. Kasugi handed the data chip to Ganta before succumbing. In search of Ganta, Shiro met a woman. Ganta faced Jinkaku, but his branch of Sin had no impact. Just before Jinkaku could harm Ganta, he was called away by subordinates, delaying Ganta's punishment momentarily. Shiro reached Ganta, asking for the data chip. She snatched it and destroyed it in the fire with a powerful blast.
What?
Believing she had protected Ganta, Shiro realized her hasty move had destroyed the club's only hope for which its members sacrificed their lives. However, she attempted to explain that carrying the chip was dangerous for Ganta. Devastated by the loss, Ganta punched her in the face, leaving her shocked. In the chaos, Kurako managed to survive and decided to relaunch an escape mission during the bureaucrat's prison inspection. Meanwhile, Nagi, kept in chains, was injected by Jinkaku to transform him into an Undertaker, while Makina stole information from Tamaki's computers. Hiding in the vent lines as Tamaki and Ayahi from the defense military entered, Tamaki expressed confidence in using existing subjects to infect new ones, but the secretary feared uncontrollable outcomes. Intrigued by their discussion, Makina continued her covert operation. As club members brainstormed ways to fight the Undertakers, Ganta blamed himself for being a coward and failing the mission. Rokuro entered with the Undertakers, furious over his failed plan to kill them with data chips, which were actually bombs. It dawned on Ganta that Shiro was right, and she did everything to protect him. Facing impending punishment from Undertakers Muzuri Gazachi and Shinagawa Daokoku, Ganta, unable to resist out of fear and disdain, was miraculously saved by Senji. Senji stunned the Undertakers with a supersonic blow and swiftly sliced through them. Simultaneously, Nagi, captured in chains, was continuously injected to transform into a deadly Undertaker. A dark history between Jinkaku and Nagi unfolded. Jinkaku killed Naga's wife, leading Nagi to retaliate by killing 22 of Jinkaku's men, forcing him into hiding. Frustrated because he thought he wasn't strong enough, Ganta asked Senji to teach him how to fight. He was ready to put in all the effort needed. Senji saw Ganta's determination and started training him. Even though Ganta tried really hard, it was tough for him to get the hang of the supersonic blow. When Shiro was alone, she met Toto, the mockingbird who helped save Ganta from the chip blast. Thinking about Ganta's bad behavior, she turned into Ace Man to keep him safe, and it made her cry. Meanwhile, Scar Chain members gathered weapons they took from the Undertakers and headed for freedom. Ganta, led astray by Kurako about when they were leaving, felt let down because he relied too much on someone he thought was weak. Now, he faced a tough test set by Crow, involving the dangerous Blue Candy, fighting for his life. During the tough training, Mockingbird, who was the strongest deadman in this prison, showed up while looking for Ganta. The test boosted Ganta's fighting skills, but he struggled to keep his balance due to excessive blood loss. As Jinkaku captured Kurako and Shiro, Ganta rushed to save them, finding himself surrounded by Undertakers. Minatsuki, repaying a favor from the penalty game, helped Ganta against the Undertakers. Though hesitant to join the revolt, she left to search for her brother. Ganta entered Jinkaku's room, launching a supersonic shot to take on the Undertakers. He managed to defeat several, but the blood loss limited his powers. The situation escalated when Nagi appeared, transformed into a deadly Undertaker. Naga's relentless assault shook the room like an earthquake, each strike carrying immense power. The air crackled with intensity as he unleashed a barrage of attacks on everyone present. Kurako's hopes for freedom rested on Nagi, but his transformed avatar shattered her expectations. Tormented by the sufferings, Nagi was fueled by a vengeance that sought to burn down everything. Ganta positioned himself between Shiro and the onslaught of Nagi's deadly strikes, bearing the pain to shield her from harm. Despite blood trickling, his resolve remained unwavering. "Nagi, wake up," Ganta's voice reverberated. With each word, Ganta's voice chipped away at Naga's hardened exterior, aiming to stimulate buried emotion. Against all odds, a glimmer of recognition sparkled in Naga's eyes, compromising his blue candies for training. Ganta ran short of time to consume the candy and prevent the poison stream from piling up to his neck. As the situation ignited, Jinkaku stabbed Kurako in the chest and shot Nagi, indiscriminately attacking everyone, including his fellow Undertakers, seemingly having lost his sanity. Data Hibana left to save herself from Jinkaku's barbarism. In the past, Jinkaku was a disciple of a monk in his childhood, mistreated by fellow disciples. During the Death Hole incident, he brutally butchered them inside the temple. In the gallery, Hibana instantly killed Toto, prompting Ganta to affirm that it was now his turn to be Shiro's ace man. Despite Shiro's severe injuries from Jinkaku's barrel, Ganta stood ahead of her, triggering his femto machine. Ganta struck Jinkaku with impunity, with Nagi holding Jinkaku to ensure he could not dodge the attack. In his final moments, Nagi handed a blue candy to Ganta before passing out. With Jinkaku's death, Scar Chain members finally managed to escape. Ganta abandoned the idea of leaving Deadman's Wonderland. Makina took custody of Ganta and Yokun for investigation, deciding to set up a trap. Toto, eager to taste Ganta's branch of sin, awaited an opportunity to get her hands on Ganta, marking the end of the first season of Deadman Wonderland.